Hello everyone, my name is Naima Ali. If you are new here, this is a space for healing and growth and improving every area of your life. Alright, so if you're not new here, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and let's get into this video. Hello everyone, how are you doing? So what's today's topic? What we're gonna get into today, it's a little sticky, but we gotta get into it. It is setting boundaries. Point blank period. I currently struggle with this as we speak, so do bear with me if you see me kind of struggling talking about certain topics, because this is a sensitive topic for me and it's something that I am working on as we speak. Okay? What is a boundary? Basically, for me, a boundary is a line that people, they just won't cross. They won't cross because they respect you and they respect your boundaries, and they just won't take it there. That's what a boundary is for me. It's basically someone honoring your wants and desires and not interfering with your wants and desires, and you doing the same for them. So that is what a boundary is in my book. You may have a different definition for what a boundary is for you, but that's how I see a boundary. Why I currently struggle with boundaries and setting them is because of my mold, how I was conditioned as a child to not have any. Let's be really frank. I grew up in a Black home. Having boundaries was not even a thing. That's very rare. That is a luxury. If you had some boundaries in a Black household, you basically did what you was told and what you was expected to do. And I didn't speak unless I was spoken to. I was a very quiet child, very observant child. So I just did as I was told, and I was very shy. So I didn't speak up for myself. I just let things, brush off, and I go about my day, and just let it be, because speaking up in a Black household, that doesn't exist. That's disrespect. You getting your ass beat. Okay? You just didn't do that. Okay? You just dealt with it. That is why I currently struggle with setting boundaries, because of how I was raised. And I'm unlearning all of that as we speak to create a healthy, more environment for myself, and creating more healthy coping mechanisms and healthy boundaries for myself and for others that are within my life, that I want to stay within my life. Because people get it twisted. Like, if you're setting a boundary with them, you basically telling them, like, I don't really want you in my life if you can't do X, Y, and Z. And it's not even that. I'm letting you know this boundary because I want you to continue to be in my life, because I care and love for you. But if you can't do that, then I don't know where we stand. Like, it's very confusing for me. And this is something I currently struggle with as we speak, because I will say this. I was very aggressive with my boundaries, because I never had an opportunity to ever set any. I never had an opportunity to speak up for myself and how I truly felt in certain situations, in certain relationships. It was always a struggle for me to speak up for myself. Until this day, it's always a struggle for me. Like, this is something I'm constantly working at, and I'm, using that throat chakra nowadays. Okay? I'm getting there. I'm not fully there yet, so I may still let some things slide, but just let you know, I'm gonna come around the block and let you know that ain't happening again. How do I know that I need to set a boundary with someone or something, just anything that's not me? How do I know that I need to set a boundary with them? It just gives me discomfort. It doesn't make me feel positive, happy. It doesn't give me any of those rainbow feelings, like where I'm high and blissful, and it just makes me feel down, depressed, down and out when I return back to old habits, This is how I know I need to set a boundary with something or someone. And maybe that someone is myself, because I've noticed how I was the one that needed the boundaries with myself, because I allowed a lot of things. And when you're the enabler and you just let things run amok within your life, it's really hard to get a grip of it again. It's really hard to get a hold of a solid foundation. And this is when we come to, cleaning house and cutting people off, because they're so used to you being a certain way, they're not willing to accept this new you. And they don't respect it. They like, you're changing, you're acting different, you're moving funny, but you're really just focusing on bettering yourself, getting yourself out of these negative environments, amplifying, your mental health, being on high vibrations, focusing on your spirituality, grounding yourself. Like, these things are very important to me. And when people don't realize that I'm not setting a boundary because I don't fuck with you, I'm setting a boundary so I can have a blissful life where I don't have to stress, worry, or have anxiety or regret what I did, and just don't feel good. That's why I have to set these boundaries. And you just know, like, in your gut and in your spirit, like, this is something I ain't rocking with no more. Like, this ain't rocking with me no more. And it's not doing me any good. So that's how I know when I need to set up boundaries, either when I'm reverting back to old habits, or making all these excuses. Like, I used to make up a bunch of excuses of why I didn't want to go out, why I didn't want to do X, Y, and Z. Just say no. I know it's hard. Look, I know it's hard. I am in the hot seat as we speak. Okay, I didn't know how hard it is to say no until I said no. And people think that, oh, you wanted to set these boundaries for so long, so it must feel good to set it. And it doesn't feel good at first. Let me tell you right now, it doesn't feel good at first. But the aftermath, that's what feels good. When you know, like, okay, I did it. I spoke up for myself. I let it be known that I don't feel comfortable with this. I let it be known, like, you can't do that with me anymore. And once you let it be known and they're aware, they can't deny that you didn't say that anymore. So if they continue to disrespect you, now, when somebody violates a boundary of mine after I told them, I don't like you when you do that, and you continue to do it, you continue to do it, to me, that's disrespect. Because now I made you aware. Now, it would have been another thing if I didn't make you aware. But once I made you aware of how I felt, because I respect our relationship and I want us to go further, and you just don't, that's when it becomes really hard to remove the people who just don't honor and respect your boundaries. And it becomes really hard when you actually do care about these individuals and you do want them to come along with you in your journey, but not everyone can come. That's the most hardest part in setting boundaries for me. And that's having to cut people off after they violated my boundary once I made it aware that it is a boundary and something that I won't tolerate anymore. I've always struggled with setting boundaries because I avoid conflict like it's the plague. I don't like conflict. I don't like arguments. I don't like drama. I don't like any of it. I don't want me involved in any of that because I'm an empath. I'm very sensitive to emotions because I, quote unquote, am a Cancer. But I'm not even sensitive because I'm a Cancer. I really feel like it's because I'm an empath. And I feel other people's emotions. And I can just already know because I'm very observant. So I already know if this person is going to take this well or they're not. But that's not, I've learned it's not up to me on how a person reacts. It's only up to me to let them know what my boundary is and to let them aware of how I feel about something. How they react is not your fault. How they react is what they need to heal. That has nothing to do with you. And that's what I had to learn, like how someone reacts to how I set a boundary or how I'm moving now for the betterment of myself and they just not on that wave. I'm really questioning, like, were you ever rocking with me? It's a lot of reevaluating people, reevaluating who needs to be in your life all the time. You should not be complacent with the people that are in your life because they may not be there tomorrow. And that's the hardest part for me when it came to setting boundaries because I am very avoidant. And I just brush things off and act like shit ain't never happened, and I just go about my day because I'm so positive. Like I'm not even trying to go there. Because I can already see it's not going to be something positive and it's going to affect me in a negative way. So I just don't go there. But now I know that that is not healthy. This is when we talk about healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries are actually speaking up and letting it be known that affects you in a way. At first, when I was setting my boundaries with my parents or my spouse, I was very aggressive because I became defensive because this is mine and I'm cherishing it because I finally found my worth. I finally, am figuring out my voice and who I am as a whole. Because I was always this person. It just took me a while to, say with my chest. It took me a while to be comfortable with what I feel and how I want to move within this world because I was just always told you don't have space to do that. You're not allowed to do that. But I am. I am allowed to have a boundary and to put myself first and to be selfish sometimes and not have an excuse every time I don't want to do something. Sometimes it's just a no. And y'all gotta be okay with that. And if y'all not okay with that, that's okay. Because that doesn't concern me. What concerns me is my sanity. And I always said this. My number one priority is my sanity because I've been at rock bottom mentally, physically. I've been at rock bottom, you guys. I just don't talk about my bad times with other people. I'm not a person that talks about those types of things because I'm not going to be dwelling on it. But I've learned that it's not really dwelling on it, it's, releasing when you speak about certain things and you don't hold it in all pent up. You need to release. You need to set these boundaries. And boundaries for me is self-love. because I'm letting myself know that I'm worth it. That I'm worth it. And I'm letting other people know that I'm worth it by setting this boundary. And setting boundaries is just loving yourself and letting you know that no one can cross this line. And if they do, because you know it happens, people do, try it, test it out, see if they can cross the boundaries. Just be like, you can't do that. Just talk to them. Let them know, like, this is a boundary of mine, and I just don't allow that. You did it, but we can't do that moving forward. And if they react the way that you want them to react, great. If they don't, then there's another conversation you need to have. Or there's no conversation you need to have. Because at this point in my life, I just don't care. I will cut you off in a quickness. I've always been that way, though. I will act like you don't even exist. Again, what? But we are also fixing that coping mechanism, because we're trying to create healthy boundaries over here. Speaking up for yourself is very important. Setting your boundaries are very important. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let anyone guilt trip you into reverting your boundary. It's your boundary. Listen to your body. Listen to how you feel after interacting with someone. And just understand you need boundaries. I don't know how to explain this. I don't know what to say to make this stick or make it like high importance. Without boundaries, I don't know if I would have made it this far. And that's just the honest God truth. I had to start setting some boundaries just for the sake of my life. I hope what I spoke about resonated with you. And I hope you got something out of this video. I'm gonna cut it right here. But overall, I just want you all to know boundaries are not a bad thing. And if someone comes to you with a boundary, they're just letting you know, in order for us to continue our relationship, I need you to understand you can no longer do this anymore, at least with me. And if you take that in a negative way, then I don't know. You need to work on your perspective and your healing. But you guys, it's been a pleasure as always. I do appreciate you all for taking the time to watch my video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, and turn them bell notifications on so you know when I post, because you know I'm always sporadic or whatever. But we is getting the content out there, and I just want y'all to know that I'm here. To comment below, let me know how you're doing. I really truly appreciate all the love and support that I've been getting so far, and I hope to see you guys next time. Again, subscribe, help the girl out, okay? Have a great day. God bless, God bless.